So today we're doing old school drama, kind of. I mean, it happened last year? No, this year? I don't remember when drama. It was last year, sometime last year. Try guys, subscribe to the bell icon for engagement. Let's get into it. So if you guys don't remember, the Try Guys had a bit of a drama moment because 1 out of the 4, Ned, decided to cheat on his wife. So that was really fun. And I mean, despite it just being like a cheating scandal, and a lot of people tried to underplay it, obviously there was a bigger issue of the fact that he cheated with someone that worked in his company and was below him. He was the CEO of the company, so to cheat with just like an executive producer on the company meant that there was a power dynamic. His wife found out, everyone else found out on the internet, and they ended up firing Ned. There's just a lot of speculation right now of what is happening. The Try Guys actually rebranded all of their content to include other people as well. I mean, Eugene's kind of not taking part in some of the content right now. He's doing his own thing, so they're now like a 2 out of 4 / 3 out of 4, and they are including like friends, etc. They've also rebranded the podcast to be more of like a podcast on the go, where they're like doing fun things and podcasting as life happens. And their views are a little bit lower than usual. I mean, I think usually they would get like in the millions of views. Now it's like up to 1 million. And I do understand that like after the drama, things did change and a lot of the audience might have just decided to leave. Which, to be fair, I haven't watched Try Guys content in a while. Since probably before the drama. I just think after the rebrand, it just kind of doesn't feel the same, which is fine. It doesn't have to, and they don't have to, keep things the same. I know that they claim that it was kind of good because they were able to rebrand in a way that was like easier to manage, because we were kind of forced into rebranding. So they actually did a podcast addressing this whole situation on Colin and Samir's podcast, and it's called An Unfiltered Conversation with the Try Guys. So it's just Zach and Keith, not Eugene, and they're discussing the drama and the rebrand. So they said that before the drama they had like almost tunnel vision, and this cheating scandal essentially woke them up from like the fever dream to shake things up and be like, okay, so you're getting rid of one of your members of the group, so you might as well change up the content as well. They've wanted to change up the content for a while. They wanted to rebrand a little bit. It felt like before they rebranded they were just chasing virality and chasing whatever like the viral concept was going to be, and now they're not in that like viral phase anymore. They want to make more content that makes them happy, and they said that they learnt like the viral thing from BuzzFeed, and it was very difficult to get rid of that when they made the Try Guys channel. Like they were still in that BuzzFeed mindset of viral content, and now they're just trying to make content that makes them happy. And like I said, the Ned situation kind of made that easier, because when you already go through something big like that, a rebrand doesn't seem so extreme, whereas if nothing had happened, a rebrand would have been extremely extreme. They do say that like as a creator you can choose to chase every viral high or just evolve into doing things that make you happy, but they were scared that the audience like wouldn't be okay with this whole thing. And even with the Ned situation, they thought maybe the audience would think that they knew all along and weren't doing anything about it to punish Ned, or like they were like okay with it. They were like, we were sure that things were going to be okay in the end, because we were trying to show everyone that like we weren't okay with what he was doing, but it could have come across that way. And this was kind of shady, but they knew that creatively they would be like fine without Ned, because they were in like a rut for a while Ned was in the group, and now that he left, they were almost like released from this rut of having to like perform in that sense. I don't know. And they did address the SNL skit, which I'm so glad. Obviously the SNL skit, the people that worked on that SNL skit are actually friends with Ned, so it made sense that the whole SNL skit was kind of defending Ned and making fun of the Try Guys for being so dramatic about him cheating. And essentially Keith and Zach said that at the beginning they were surprised they were like important enough for SNL to address what happened, and then when they started watching it, they were like, we were expecting something funny to happen, and instead we got this like kind of crappy, misinformed version of the story. It felt like they were punching down, and that Ned wasn't made fun of at all, which obviously is because they knew him. And Ned and Ariel are still inactive on socials, and allegedly Ariel's cleaning up her socials and hasn't posted anything new and took wife out of her bio. So I don't really know what's going on there, but they haven't been even like pictured by paparazzi, anything like that. Like they're pretty much staying completely out of the limelight. So then to figure out what's going on, I went on the Try Guys subreddit, and someone said, I miss Eugene, does anyone know what he's been up to? And someone said he just video called Keith in the Eat with Keith live, literally unexpected, to wish a happy Pride to the stream. Someone said, what I know of, Vio worked for a Star Wars animated mini-series, writing his novels. Book deals, especially for a multi-part series, come with surprisingly tight deadlines. The book rewrites revisions alone could be like a full-time job. Source have a friend whose first novel is a trilogy, is coming out in November, and she had to leave her full-time job non-writing 2 years ago to focus on meeting deadlines. Someone had said that he's also in that animated Netflix show coming this summer that I thought he was working on a script, or was it another book as well? And someone said his book deal was for a 2-book series, so he's obviously booked and busy with writing books and being an animated series. Someone said, I think he covered most of what he's been able to say, just know that he's super busy, but as he said, repeatedly, he's still committed to the Try Guys and the company. And someone said, are the recent videos underperforming? I noticed that some of the recent videos barely crossed the 500,000 threshold, and I'm wondering why that is. I'm not well versed in YouTube algorithm. Is it that long-term fans have lost interest? Please no hate, I want to see the guys succeed very much, but I haven't been as active in the community, so I'm trying to ease back into it by getting a feel of the recent content. And someone said, I think it might be a mixture of the algorithm and some fans losing interest. Some fans might want their content to stay the same, and seeing it change might lose interest. Likewise, fans who think their content doesn't change enough and outgrow their content might lose interest. Add with the fact that Eugene is sporadically in videos, which are understandable because of his schedule, will have fans feeling like it's not really the Try Guys anymore. While I love people like Kwezi and Johnny? Why am I just struggling with reading today? It's hard not to miss the original three. I personally will not stop watching their videos ever, but I can understand why some people would lose interest. Sometimes we don't even get both Zach and Keith. I completely understand that they are all very busy because they're so talented. I'm just curious about what is Eugene doing? I miss him, and they go on to him working on books and VA work, Netflix, and he's doing his own thing. Someone said, I have to admit I've lost interest recently. No hate really, it's nothing against the recent content or anything, and nothing against the guys. I think I've just moved on to different content recently. I don't know what it is, probably just my taste changing. Every now and then one of their new ETM videos or something else will pop up on my recommended, and I'll watch it, but I don't actively look for their new stuff. Agreed, but I feel like since the whole rebranding, the content has been boring. Like, I love Keith, but I just couldn't finish the talk show video. And I feel bad because it seems like they spent a lot of money on the gift giving series in general and didn't really perform well, less than 800,000 views on average. Yeah, I couldn't finish that series either. Watch rich people give each other elaborate gifts on the company dime was really rubbing me the wrong way. Same for the watchers get drunk or high videos. I'm not there, it's not fun. That being said, I'll never miss a Keith eats food style of video or them actually trying something. Their laser hair removal video was the best recently, in my opinion, had me cracking up. To be honest, I feel like some of their videos have been low quality recently. I completely skipped the one about Zach deciding what celebrities are zaddies or whatever it was. Hopefully these low quality videos means they're working on something big. Long-time fan who's dropped out of watching their shows for a while, I actually saw this video pop up on my notifications and thought it was a funny concept, but ended up not watching. The thought process was like, I like this, but not enough to spend time sitting there and watching it, especially when I'm tuned into other shows. But I'll just file this away to my watch later playlist, or just mentally remember this for future time. Or the thought of probably just letting the fun Try Guys videos accumulate over time so I can binge it all later on. Someone said, quality content slipping lately. Am I the only one that feels the content has gone way downhill in the past 4 or so months? After October, the content was still pretty entertaining until around January, February-ish. The content just seems rushed, not as well thought out, and just not entertaining. Maybe I'm an outlier, just curious what others think. And someone said that they're not going to remove this, but the Try Guys snark might be a better place for this. So I went to the Try Guys snark later on, and it wasn't very snarky actually. Someone said it feels like they're going back to basics, and the game videos are very reflective of that. They were doing really high quality videos and a whole documentary, and then shit hit the fan. Now they are taking stock and figuring out a way forward in a way that makes sense financially. I thought the game videos were not back to basics as much as we spent a shit ton of money for studios and should use them for something. I think the Keith and Zach giant gift videos cost an absolute fortune. I caught that on the Keith Tonight episode. Said we have to film a game show for the next few days. I guess that explains why the rules are so interesting. Some said I think that less than a year ago they were left scrambling to keep their business afloat while dealing with a huge PR nightmare. I also think they were left having to figure out how they wanted to move forward, and they're probably having to now schedule video stuff around planned projects in addition to being down a person who I assume would have taken some of the strain off the guys. Yes, some of their videos are very different quality, but for what they have had to work with over the past 6 to 7 months, I think they've done a pretty good job at trying to find their footing. So I guess it's like they have one less person working on content with them to like spread it out. So they're like spread thin. They probably had a lot of content they had to scrap, a lot of money wasted, and now they're having to like figure out, with Eugene going off doing his own thing, they're trying to not rely on the Try Guys as much, because when they did rely on the Try Guys, they ended up, left out to dry by Ned because he ruined it. So I think they're trying to like diversify as well, do other things, so the Try Guys doesn't feel like such a big part of their career. Down more than one person, considering Eugene has his other projects and Zach had his wedding, his paint documentary, and a car full of picture frame. And Keith had his off-Broadway play as well. If any of you listen to the podcast, they shoot months in advance. They are still working through the we're down a person, we had to scrap months of content, and oh, by the way, the 3 remaining members have giant commitments, life events condensed in a couple of months period. They were fairly honest about that within the last couple of podcasts. Some of the videos they've been filming the last 6 weeks seem to be really cool. We just haven't seen them yet. Someone said I've lost interest. I honestly haven't been watching any of their content for the past couple of months. Still love the guys, but they're just not making the kind of content that I prefer. Same, it feels generic and immature. Now, on the Try Guys snark, people are a little bit more like crying in their lives. I think that's the only difference between the snark and the not snark, is people are more likely to ask questions. 0 sightings of Ned and Ariel. It seems bizarre that since the Wade Paparazzi Walk interview they did ages ago, they won't have had a single fan sighting of either of them. No one's seen them at the grocery store, at a movie, walking down the street. I assume if they did, they'd be posted about it on Reddit. Someone said, from memory, there was a post in the main sub about how Ned had been tagged in a photo of 2 women, presumably fans, in Florida a month or 2 ago. I said, I forgot he's a Florida man, trademark. He's from our hometown, no sightings yet, but our city is huge. He may have been here for a bit, but no one from his high school class said he's been back, so I don't know where he is. And someone said, I want to bet someone $100 that Ariel isn't staying in my country's currency, not dollars, hey hey. Anyway, she removed Y from her bio. She played along with us when she followed the rapper who likes hot mamas on Instagram. I'm assuming they're talking about Young Gravy. She came across as a very independent person on her social media presence pre-Nedgate. Your partner's cheated and humiliated you, and you were a pretty serious person to begin with, you'd leave, but make sure all the details have been worked out. The kid who has the surname of the cheating POS, by the way, the shared asset, your new income source, and then you'll never look back. You wouldn't declare your divorce on social media until it's rock solid, especially when you know how much the cheater talked about your relationship on social media. Also, Ariel's statement said that she wants to focus on her family, and Ned said he wants to focus on family and marriage. So she had a very different plan in her statement. The paparazzi video. My answer is that Ned asked her to do this one favor. She said, working on it, or something very non-committal. I remind you that Ariel is very image conscious. Staying with Ned now does nothing for her image. It has blown whatever was going on for him image-wise. Let's say you know your marriage is shitty, but you're pretending it isn't because you want to project that image of a perfect couple to the world. Now your spouse went on and pissed on that. What is your incentive now to stay with them? Nothing. I think it'd be better if all the guys take a proper hiatus from the channel, which obviously kind of links into people saying like, why haven't we been watching the content lately? Someone said the most entertaining stuff that's been coming out of the group has been Keith's work with Lou Burger. That's pretty much the only stuff I look forward to. I know they have a production company to pay, but I think that maybe giving them a bit more control and fully committing to these side projects would make for better content and make people happier. Honestly, I don't even know why they still call themselves the Try Guys. To be honest, I think they should have rebranded fully as Second Try after the whole thing back in September, October. So it did happen last September, October. I was so confused for a minute when it happened. So people are very just on the fence about everything. I mean, I'm glad they addressed stuff and they kind of were able to poke fun at the whole thing and see the positive and everything, and like seeing it as like a good chance to rebrand. I think there is a slight slip in quality. Like, I haven't really been watching their videos much, and that's not, you know, me being shady. I just really haven't. I think the last thing I watched was Keith's like food menu thing that he does where he tries everything on a menu. Yeah, 2 days ago, 283,000 views on a video. 6 days ago, 353,000. 9 days ago, 497,000 views. 488, 635. They're not hitting 1 million other than Keith Eats Everything at Cracker Barrel, which is the one that I watched. That was the only one that was over 1 million views. The rest are like under 1 million. And then another one was a month ago, Our Wedding, Zach and Maggie, which makes sense because they obviously got married. Really interesting though, YB, which was obviously the second half to the cheater, I forget what her name was, Alex. She actually got married recently as well, and obviously Alex wasn't there. But yeah, the views definitely have slipped. That's for sure. So it does seem like the interest isn't all there. And if you go on Social Blade, which is my favorite website, the Try Guys, they haven't gained any subscribers in the last 30 days. So haven't gained, haven't lost. And they got 16 million views in the last 30 days, which is down 40% from the last month, which obviously, I mean, still amazing views if you really think about it. But so they're on 17 million views this month, 27 last month, and then before that was quite a bit lower, 14, 10 and 15. Their highest was during the drama, October, 59 million views. I'm assuming that's because of the videos explaining everything and people were looking for proof that Ned was cheating. So that month really was a big view month for them. But on average, before that, they were getting 23 million views, 40 million views kind of in December 2021. So all of 2021, they were on like 50 million views per video per month. What's actually really interesting is during the month of October, when this whole thing went down, they gained 190,000 subscribers, whereas their average months were like 10 to 30,000 subs. January 2021 was a big month for them. They gained 80,000. But since October, they got that 190,000 subscribers. In November, it was 20,000, December 20,000, January 10,000, and then they actually lost 10,000 and another 10,000 in March, and then gained none, and then lost 10,000 again, and then haven't gained any this month. So like this boost of 190,000 subscribers and 60 million views kind of screwed them over more than anything. I don't know if you guys know how the algorithm works, but if you gain a bunch of subscribers, let's say, your videos might get pushed out, but then those people that subscribed to you subscribed for the drama. They didn't actually subscribe for the content. I feel like a lot of the 190,000 people that subscribed didn't actually want to watch the Try Guys content. They just wanted to be clued up on the drama and then didn't unsubscribe. So now that's an additional 200,000 people that are not going to click on their content when it comes up on the homepage or on the sub box, which then leads YouTube to stop recommending your content because they can see that 200,000 people aren't clicking on it, which is why probably the views are much lower now, because not only are these 200,000 people not watching, they're also affecting the algorithm to not recommend their content anymore. Because around 9 months ago, their videos were getting consistently 3 million, 2 million, 2 million, 2 million, 3. Their lowest would be like 1.5 million. They were all above like 2 million views. And that was, you know, 6 months ago. So clearly this has kind of affected their algorithm and the recommendations. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys still watching the Try Guys? If you're watching them before, are you watching them now? If you were not watching them before, did you start watching them after the drama? Or any other option, honestly. Subscribe with the bell icon for engagement, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.